Imagine this for a moment. You walk into a room, and you instantly know who's confident, who's lying, who's hiding something, and who's silently begging for someone to notice their pain. Not because they said anything, but because you learned how to read the language every human speaks, without even realizing it. If you could do that, how different would your life be? Stay with me, because by the time this audiobook ends, you'll never look at people the same way again. It starts right now. Let me take you into a real moment. A friend of mine, Daniel, once told me, "Man, I just don't get people. They say one thing and do another." And I looked at him and said, "They're not confusing, you just haven't been taught how to listen." He laughed. But he didn't know I wasn't talking about words. I meant the other language. The silent one. The one you're about to learn. Here's something nobody told you growing up. Every person is broadcasting their thoughts. In micro-expressions, eye movements, breathing changes, the angle of their feet, the tension in their jaw. And most people miss all of it. But not you. Not after today. Take a breath. And imagine your awareness turning sharper, clearer, like a camera lens focusing. Because the world is about to reveal itself. Let's start with the eyes. Not the look into their soul nonsense, I mean the actual science. When someone's eyes freeze for a split second, when they blink too fast, when their pupils shrink, their body is literally telling you, "I'm uncomfortable. Something here isn't matching my truth." Next time you talk to someone, do a tiny experiment. Ask them something simple like their weekend plans. Then watch their eyes. Not their smile. Not their words. Their eyes. Do they look up like they're imagining something? Down like they're processing emotion? Sideways like they're searching for approval? Every direction means something. Every delay means something. Every twitch is a sentence. You're not just watching. You're decoding a secret channel that's been there your whole life. This is where your power begins. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I was in a meeting, a deal worth more money than I'd ever seen. Everyone looked confident, smiling, shaking hands. But one guy, just one, kept squeezing his lips together every time numbers were mentioned. It was quick. 1/10 of a second. But it was enough. Lip compression means emotional stress. It means, I don't like what I'm hearing, but I don't want anyone to know. So while the room was celebrating, I knew something wasn't right. I pulled the CEO aside and said, "We need to review their books one more time." He thought I was paranoid. But 2 days later, they discovered missing reports, edited documents, and a financial hole the size of a crater. All because of one silent signal. Imagine what that kind of awareness does in relationships, friendships, business, dating, family. You're not guessing anymore. You're reading truth. Now, here's something most people never notice. The feet. The part of the body almost nobody controls. Feet tell you where the mind wants to go. If someone's pointing their feet toward the exit, their mind is already halfway out the door. If you're talking and their feet shift away, you just lost them emotionally. If their feet point toward you even when they're talking to someone else, you're the person they're most connected to. Try this the next time you're in a group conversation. Don't stare at faces. Look down for 1 second. Watch the feet. You'll instantly understand who feels safe, who feels dominant, and who feels ignored. This is the psychology most people walk right past. Not you. Not anymore. Another experiment for you. Next time someone laughs, look at their shoulders. Real laughter drops the shoulders, relaxes the muscles, and softens the neck. Fake laughter tightens everything. It's louder, sharper, more forced. You'll see it. You'll feel it. And the moment you start noticing these patterns, people become readable like open books. But let me warn you, this skill changes you. Because the more you see, the harder it becomes to pretend you don't. Let's go deeper. Every human carries a resting truth face. It's the expression they return to when their guard falls for just 1 second. Watch for it. During a silence. During a pause. During the moment they think nobody's looking. That split-second version of them? That's who they actually are that day. You can see sadness hiding under a smile. Anger sitting behind politeness. Exhaustion disguised as enthusiasm. All in that one unfiltered micro-moment. Reading people isn't about judging. It's about understanding the feeling behind the behavior. Because when you understand the feeling, you see the person. Have you ever talked to someone and felt something was off, but you couldn't explain it? That feeling wasn't random. Your subconscious caught something your conscious mind didn't. Maybe their posture was too stiff. Maybe their smile didn't match their eyes. Maybe their tone didn't match their words. Your brain is always scanning, always collecting data. This audiobook is simply turning your automatic instincts into intentional awareness. You're taking control of a power you've always had. Let's talk about lies for a moment. Not Hollywood lies. Real human lies, the quiet ones. Most people think lying looks big and dramatic. In reality, lies are small, tight, compressed. A liar rarely moves more. They move less. Their shoulders lock. Their head tightens. Their breathing becomes shallow. Their voice drops by half a tone. And the biggest tell of all, they stop using their hands when they talk. Because the moment the mind feels threatened, the body shuts down expressiveness. So when someone suddenly becomes still, stillness speaks. And it usually whispers the truth. But here's something even more powerful. Kindness is visible too. Real kindness has body language. Watch how someone treats people who can't benefit them. A waiter, a cashier, a janitor. Watch the softness in their eyes when they listen. Watch how their body relaxes around people they feel safe with. Watch how their energy shifts when someone enters the room. You're not just learning how to detect lies. You're learning how to detect character. And that's how you build a life filled with the right people. Now let's bring it all together with one more experiment. The next time you're in a conversation, do this. Say nothing for 2 extra seconds after they finish talking. Just 2 seconds. A simple pause. And watch what happens. They will reveal more. Their body will shift. Their truth will come forward. Because silence makes people show what words usually hide. That's the moment when real honesty walks into the room. And you'll be right there to catch it. You're not reading minds. You're reading the cues minds can't hide. And now, we arrive at the part people never expect. The more you learn to read others, the more you begin to read yourself. Your own tells. Your own fears. Your own truths you've been avoiding. When you see your reflection in the behaviors of others, your emotional intelligence grows. Your relationships shift. You stop accepting half-truths. You stop ignoring red flags. You stop letting people drain you. Because now, you see. Clarity is a kind of power. But it's also a kind of responsibility. Because once you see the truth in others, you must also face the truth in yourself. And that's where real transformation begins. Here's the part most people never hear. When you truly understand people, you become gentler. Not weaker, gentler. Because you realize everyone's fighting something. Everyone's carrying invisible storms. Everyone's body language is telling a story their mouth is too tired to explain. Some people look angry, but they're actually scared. Some people look distant, but they're protecting themselves. Some people seem cold, but they've been hurt too many times to risk being warm again. Reading people isn't about control. It's about compassion, awareness, connection. And if you master this, You don't just move through the world differently. The world moves differently around you. Let me leave you with this cinematic moment. Imagine yourself walking through your day tomorrow, but with a new kind of vision, a deeper calm, a sharper intuition, a sense that you're finally tuned into the frequency everyone else is unknowingly broadcasting. You see the truth behind the smiles. You notice the tension someone tries to hide. You feel the shift in the room before anyone says a word. It's like the world slows down for you. Details rise to the surface. People become readable. Moments become meaningful. And you, for the first time, are no longer guessing. You're observing, understanding, responding with purpose. This is your new superpower. Not dramatic, not mystical, just real, quiet, human awareness practiced with intention. And once you see the human story beneath the surface, you can never unsee it. So step into tomorrow with your eyes open, your mind calm, your heart steady, and your awareness sharp, because the world is speaking to you. And now, you finally know how to listen. And maybe, the most beautiful part of all this is that as you learn to read the world starts reading you differently too. Because awareness changes your presence. It changes how you walk, how you talk, how you enter a room. Confidence isn't loud, it's quiet. It's the stillness of someone who sees clearly. And when you understand people on this level, that clarity begins to radiate out of you. People notice it. They feel it. They trust it. Not because you're perfect, but because you're present. There's a moment, and you'll feel it, where your intuition becomes louder than people's words, where your instincts turn into a compass, where you start recognizing patterns faster than others can hide them. You'll see the discomfort someone tries to mask with humor. You'll feel the insecurity hiding underneath the bragging. You'll spot the loneliness sitting behind the loudness. You'll notice the tenderness in someone who pretends to be tough. And with that awareness comes something rare. You respond to people as they are, not as they pretend to be. That's how connection deepens. That's how relationships transform. That's how you stop wasting time with people who show you who they are. Because now, you actually see it. Let me share one more story before we close tonight. A woman named Clara once told me she felt invisible. She'd walk into rooms and people would overlook her. She said she felt like wallpaper, always there, never seen. So I asked her one question. When you enter a room, what do you see? She paused. Then she said, I see the exit. I see where to stand so I'm not in the way. I see who looks busy so I don't bother them. And there it was. She wasn't invisible. She was hiding. Her shoulders curled inward. Her voice softened. Her eyes darted down. Her body was saying, please don't focus on me. And the world simply agreed. But when she learned these signals, when she began to understand her own body language, everything changed. She started holding eye contact for one extra beat. She uncrossed her arms. She let her shoulders relax instead of folding inward. She entered rooms with slower steps, not rushed, not apologetic, just present. And suddenly, people noticed her. They welcomed her. They remembered her. Because the world mirrors the signals you send. When you read others, you learn how to express yourself too. And that skill, that quiet alignment, is life-changing. There's one more experiment I want you to try. It's simple, but it rewires the entire way you move through the world. For the next 24 hours, watch people's breathing. Not their face. Not their words. Not even their posture. Just their breathing. Fast breathing means anxiety. Slow means calm. Holding the breath means fear or hesitation. A sudden exhale means relief. A sharp inhale means surprise. A trembling breath means someone is fighting back emotion. This one signal, this single invisible rhythm, can tell you more about a person than a 10-minute conversation. When you start tuning into breathing, you start tuning into emotion. And when you tune into emotion, you understand intention. This is the secret layer beneath all human behavior. Not everyone sees it, but you will. And if all of this feels powerful, it's because it is. You're not learning tricks. You're learning human nature. The raw, unedited version. The version that leaks through body language, through silence, through micro-expressions, through the tiny signals people don't realize they're sending. Once you master this, life becomes clearer. Drama becomes avoidable. Communication becomes smoother. Relationships become safer. And your decisions become wiser. Most people walk through life half-blind. But you're opening your eyes. And when awareness becomes a habit, your life becomes intentional. You start choosing who gets your time, who gets your love, who gets your trust, who gets to stay, who doesn't. And that is the ultimate form of emotional freedom.